Hello and welcome to Easy Sauce English videos. Today's episode is Shadow of the Clauses. Shout out to whoever gets the reference. We're diving into the mysterious secrets of clauses and giving you the tools you need to spot them out in any situation, whether it be when you're writing, reading, or even talking. Now, there are two types of basic clauses. There are independent clauses and dependent clauses. What makes an independent clause is when the clause itself can stand alone as a sentence. We call them independent because these types of clauses can stand independently by themselves without any extra words attached and can be complete sentences. A dependent clause has a subject doing a verb, but they have a subordinate conjunction as well, placed in front of the clause. Now, a subordinate conjunction is just a fancy term that simply means connecting word, and it's used to connect the dependent clause to an independent clause. Why is a subordinate conjunction or connecting word necessary? Well, even though a dependent clause has a subject doing a verb, it's an incomplete thought. Let me show you. Since she started school. Here we have our subject, she, and even our verb, started. So we have a clause, we know that. But right here we have since. That is our connecting word. That's our subordinate conjunction. And because of that since, this is now an incomplete thought. What happened since she started school? We don't know. It's an incomplete thought. It needs an independent clause connected to it. Here's another one. When I eat food. Here we have our subject, I, our verb, eat. So we know it's a clause. We have our subject and verb. But once again, there's our subordinate conjunction, when. When is the connector? We're looking for something to complete this thought. What happens when I eat food? Because the when is there, we have to complete the thought with an independent clause. Be on the lookout for subordinate conjunctions. Notice if you take away the subordinate conjunctions from these examples, they would be independent clauses. So let's erase since, and we just have she started school. That is an independent clause. It's a sentence by itself. Same is true with when I eat food. If we take away when, it's just I eat food, and that is an independent clause. But with the subordinate conjunction, they're incomplete thoughts and need to be connected to a complete independent clause. An easy way to remember dependent clauses is comparing them to headphones. Headphones by themselves are incomplete. They don't do much. They need something to plug into to work. The same is true with dependent clauses. They need an independent clause to function. Now, one of the challenges of spotting fragments is that we speak in fragments or dependent clauses all the time. For example, if someone said, "Why did you do that?" and the other person responds, "Because I can." It doesn't bother us or send up any red flags. So when you try to grasp independent and dependent clauses, you're kind of working against habit. It's not instinctive. It's not how we're used to communicating. So as another example, if someone asked, "When are you going to the store?" you'd probably respond with, "After I get home." Once again, it's a dependent clause. What happens after you get home? You're almost completing their sentence because their question is an independent clause. There's a difference between the casual, informal language that we're used to speaking and standard written English. And we're focusing on giving you the tools you need to know how the more formal language works. Try noticing the phrases and dependent clauses when you speak with other people. You'll start noticing how much you use these fragments of sentences when you talk to others. And here's the final thought that can be applied to everything, including independent and dependent clauses. I am a firm believer in the power of editing. Get someone you trust, could be a tutor, a teacher, or mentor of some sort, and have them edit what you write. Don't get discouraged if they find things that are incorrect. The more you have someone review your work who can spot out the mistakes, the more you're going to spot them yourself. So don't get discouraged. And remember that practice brings improvement.